Located in South America with a territory of 2,700,000 square kilometers, Argentina lies cradled between the Andes Mountains and the South Atlantic Ocean. The varied geography of the country comprises vast and fertile plains, extensive coastal beaches, torrid subtropical rainforests, mountain ranges, and the cold Patagonian steppe. The economy of the country is based principally on agricultural and livestock, mining, the production of goods and services, and tourism. Fully 1/3 of Argentina's total 40 million inhabitants live in the urban areas of Buenos Aires alone. Most Argentinians descend from European immigrants arriving in great immigration waves at the end of the 19th and the first half of the 20th century. However, Argentina is still a sparsely populated country, and immigrants continue to arrive mainly from other South American countries, Asia and Africa. The indigenous people complete the Argentinian population, those who identify themselves as descendants of the original inhabitants. Although not without challenges, the country is undergoing a process of national integration in which the cultural diversity and special identity of the indigenous population is being respected with explicit acknowledgement of special rights. Argentina today is a federal republic. Independence from the Spanish crown was declared in 1816, following 6 years of struggle for freedom. The 20th century witnessed powerful political and social movements like the one with Juan Domingo Perón and his wife Eva Duarte, known as Evita, who in the 1940s led a historic phenomenon known as Peronism, becoming international icons for the defense of the working class rights. This regime, as it had happened with the radicalism in 1930, was ousted from power by military coups d'état. Sporadic violent overthrows by the army throughout the 20th century threatened the constitutional order of the country. The most tragic among these was a brutal military dictatorship that ruled Argentina for 7 years from 1976 until 1983. Any opposition to the regime led to disappearance and death. In the end, more than 30,000 missed people, 2 Catholic bishops and 17 priests were killed. Over 62 priests were imprisoned and tortured for speaking out against the oppression. After a 20th century characterized by conflict and the tremendous social and economic upheaval in 2001, the country appears to have achieved stability with a constitutional process guaranteeing the rule of law and democratic society, greater employment opportunities, and better income distribution. The landing of Christopher Columbus in America in 1492 brought the Catholic faith to the continent through the presence and work of the different religious orders, such as the Franciscans, the Dominicans, the Mercedarians, and the Jesuits. During the 17th and 18th centuries, Jesuits played a particularly important role in the evangelization of the continent. They preached the gospel to the Guarani people and organized them socially and culturally in a number of communities called Jesuit reductions.
Cuando el padre me dice, yo te perdono. Fíjense un sacerdote lo que acá hay chicos que pueden ser sacerdotes también.
The early educational efforts of these first missionaries still bears fruit today. Argentina boasts about 4,500 Catholic schools serving more than 1.2 million students.
No podemos ver a la muerte, no la podemos no ver como una interrupción.
Cuando hablo de la muerte como interrupción es cómo aparece
Although a religiously diverse nation, 75% of the population is baptized Roman Catholic. 12% of the population comprises other non-Catholic Christian communities such as Lutherans, Methodists, Baptists, Evangelists, and Jehovah's Witnesses. Muslims and Jews comprise the remaining 1.5% and 1% respectively. About 10% of Argentinians declare themselves atheist or agnostic. Argentinian society is no exception to a world confronted with a process of often radical secularization. Different legal proposals seek to redefine the concept of marriage and family and to limit the fundamental right of human life from conception to the natural end. The Church has made herself heard, defending life and family values, and in the educational field, the right of the parent to choose the kind of education according to their moral convictions. Argentina's long Catholic tradition is alive and still lived through public devotional manifestations. Enthusiastic crowds of young people pilgrim to local Marian shrines, expressing their local cultural identities. The social services offered by the Catholic Church are respected and increasingly in demand, especially in forgotten rural areas and in the outskirts of larger cities. Schools, orphanages, hospitals and residences are but some of the few services provided to those most in need. These efforts imply a continued challenge and, in many cases, a situation of great need for the Church. Many Argentinian shepherds have been characterized by their persevering attitude towards dialogue, respect, and the defense of truth. The former Archbishop of Buenos Aires, Cardinal Jorge Mario Bergoglio, today Pope Francis, called and continues to call Christians to live a virtuous life full of joy and service to the truth and others. His papal designation has touched Argentinian society and gives hope for a renewal in Argentinia's Catholic tradition. Love for one's neighbour, solidarity, a permanent encounter with the Word of God.
Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.